So I'm actually just offshore, just getting off the shore, getting off boats, get changed. I want to talk about tomorrow. I'm excited about it. I think today went extraordinarily well for us. So let me go for what we did. Remember yesterday? We're all the way at the bottom of the map, right there. That was the southernmost point of our trip. That was the southern tip of Booth Island at the end of the Lemaire Channel. Yesterday afternoon, to get away from the wind, we were in Flanders Bay here. And we did a ship cruise there. We came out last night and made our way up the Gerlache Strait, and we're heading into the one of the two big bays up here. This is Wilhelmina Bay. And the captain brought us in slowly because we had to pick our way through a lot of ice. I think I can go in closer here. I'll do this manually. Yes, okay. So there is, here's Wilhelmina Bay, and where were we? This is the Brooklyn Island. This is the bay that we operated in today. And at the back of the bay, there is a glacier, but we found still sea ice. Did you see the flat sea ice? That was still attached to the glacial front at the back of this bay. This is called Sattler Point. We were in Wilhelmina Bay, south of Brooklyn Island. And we saw every zodiac saw something different. We had different types of wildlife. Some zodiacs saw whales. My zodiac didn't see whales, but we saw other wonders. And that was a beautiful sort of snowy morning. We couldn't always see the ship. Visibility came and went. But we were out there, and we each one had its own adventure, seeing different things. Then we had a little bit of champagne to celebrate, and back, which we call the bar box, and then back to the ship. It took the captain and the bridge a little bit longer than anticipated to move through all the ice here and get out and make the round up to Portal Point. So that was the cause for our delay a little bit today, because they just have to go slower in ice. That makes sense. And as we made our way up, we were about 15, 20 minutes behind the timing that we wanted to be. In the afternoon, we went to this very exposed place called Portal Point, as you know. Let me go in a little closer. At the end of the Recluse Peninsula, there is the little appendage that sticks out. It's very exposed. Every time I try to go there, I'm really nervous because the weather can change, and if the weather changes, this can become really a nightmare. But it wasn't a nightmare for us today. It was a pleasure. The captain kept the ship just off here. We were able to go in. Wind was very light, picked up a little bit at one point. We went into this bay, landed here, climbed up, and then you went up and you had a circuit on the plateau right here. You had beautiful views of the glacial front. From up here, there was a Weddell seal really deep in sleep, and we should leave him that way. Penguins popped up every now and then. We had a few Jet2s. Some people saw an Adelie. An Adelie even came up on the rocks. But it really wasn't about wildlife. I describe this as a little bit of a winter wonderland, just really to see Antarctica all around us in Charlotte Bay. And that was the afternoon at Portal Point. So let's go continue. What are we going to do tonight and tomorrow? We are going to head up the northern Gerlache Strait. It gets wider, it broadens out into the Bransfield Strait up here. Now, what is the Bransfield Strait? The Bransfield Strait is the area between the northern peninsula, this is the Bransfield Strait, and the South Shetland Islands. South Shetland Islands go from the very tall Smith Island up through the central, the western, the central, the eastern King George Island, way up to Elephant Island. And many of you know Elephant Island from the Shackleton expedition, the great Shackleton's men were able to, and Shackleton and his men were just able to get a little foot on the northeast corner of that South Shetland Island, Elephant Island, and hang on for life there. So what we will do is we will come up tonight, cross the Bransfield Strait, and we're going to the western side of the South Shetland Islands. This larger island is called Livingston Island. Just next to it is Greenwich Island, and we would like to visit a place hopefully protected, but the wind looks pretty light tomorrow. It's a lighter wind from the north, and that works very nicely for what we want to do. Right in here, you see this little strange shaped island. They call it Half Moon Island. That's the name. It's really like Crescent Moon, but the name is Half Moon Island, and we would like to make a landing there beginning at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. So the ship should be able to come into the bay and drop anchor, because there's not a lot of ice here, and we would like to make a landing here at Half Moon Bay because there are chinstrap penguins. There's a colony of chinstrap penguins, so we should come into this beach. There's a small hill. I mean, it takes 2 minutes, easy, to climb up to. We will see chinstrap penguins. There are a few penguin highways, and that is the main attraction for this. Some of you have seen 1 or 2 chinstraps, but we really get to see them in their differences from Gentoo penguins and Adelie penguins tomorrow. We hope also to do a short walk, maybe 10-15 minutes, down to this point. On this point, sometimes there are seals that have come out of the water, hauled up, different species of seals. Let's see if we see any of them tomorrow. Underneath the snow, there are whale bones, because this was a site of whaling at one time. And there are quite large whale bones. I don't know if we'll see those if they are yet exposed, if the snow is melted. We spend about 1 hour and 15 minutes here tomorrow. As I said, we're expecting a light wind. We may get a little bit of waves on the beach, but I think our landing will be, it should be easily possible here at Half Moon Island, between Livingston and Greenwich Islands. If we have clear weather, I'm not expecting sunny weather, but if we have clear weather, there can be very nice views also of the South Shetland Islands from just from the top here, just up here, 2-minute walk to get to that if we have good visibility of Livingston Island. So that would be in the morning. Then we have about a 4-hour run, and we are going to come out and go to quite a special island. Many of you may have heard of this island. This is, from the outside, it looks like any of the other islands. From the ship, as we approach, you'll think it looks like any of the South Shetland Islands. But looks can be deceiving, and for that reason, we call this Deception Island, because it is not an ordinary island. It is clearly different in its shape. It is shaped like a donut.
I love donuts.
And the donut is only open to the sea at one entranceway. The reason for this is a volcanic island. And it has had many, many eruptions over the hundreds of thousands of years or more. At one time, this was a much bigger island, and it had a massive eruption. And the center of the island, after the explosion occurred, could no longer support the weight of the island, and the interior collapsed down. Eventually, the sea flooded in, and this is called a caldera. It's a big bowl-shaped island. It is actually deeper in here, about 160 meters deep, not so deep, but deeper here than it is out here. This might be 40 meters. This is about 160 or 170 because the center of the caldera did collapse down. Now, it is still a volcanically active island, but not tomorrow. because, oops, oh, no, let me do it again. So let's look at a little closer here. Early in the morning, probably about 7 o'clock, check the daily program. The captain will take the ship in a very prescribed course, going from east to west. We pass very close to the cliffs on either side.
John, it would be in the afternoon.
Oh, sorry. Oh, yeah, this is the afternoon.
Yeah.
I would have waited there for hours. Sorry. In the morning we have, yes,
Half moon.
half moon. But tomorrow afternoon we'll announce the time. The captain will bring the ship in from east to west, and we go very close to the entrance on either side. In the center of the entrance, we call that Neptune's Bellows. In the center of Neptune's Bellows, there is a rock under the water called Raven Rock. It is well charted, but some captains still manage to hit it. Not our captain. The captain will carefully take us by Raven Rock. We will come in, and immediately on the right, you'll see a big bay, and you'll see the remnants of some whaling station, a Norwegian whaling station, and that's called Whalers Bay. We may end up there, but I would prefer to take us, and I hope we can do this, to the northern end of Port Foster. The interior is called Port Foster, which is a much more volcanic and elemental landscape. Do you see these side bays? They are the remains of other eruptions, and the sea flooded in, so they are in a way like small calderas. And the place that I want to visit is over here. And I'm not going to show you more, but it's a very barren landscape. Black and white, really. Black volcanic sand, white snow. I would like to make a landing, our last Antarctic landing, in the afternoon. It's a relatively quick run. I think the weather will be good for us. And what we're going to do is we're going to walk about half an hour gently uphill to get to a volcanic side cone. And it's quite interesting. You get up there and it's a totally different world than anything we have seen on this program. It's not heavy in wildlife. Every now and then we might see a penguin who is lost or a seal show up on the beach. But it's really about this volcanic origin that we want to visit. The walk is not difficult. I would say moderate, medium, easy, moderately easy to get up there. Now, after that, most of the guests will come back to the shore. But there is a more difficult, and it's quite a difficult, walk of about 45 minutes to 1 hour that I will tell you at the landing site. And you can decide for yourself if you want to just go up and see the cone, or if we want to do the additional 45 minutes to 1 hour. That is very steep. That's not for everybody in the group. When we get up to this little side cone, do not get right to the edge of the cone because it's made from very small particles. That will collapse and you will go bye-bye. Okay, so we stay about 3 meters at least, maybe 4 meters from the edge. Inside, it's just, it's not lava, it's not volcanically active now, but it's still quite a different landscape. And that will be the afternoon at Deception. If we cannot get to the northern part, we will make a visit in Whalers Bay down here and also get a chance to walk and climb. But I would prefer to go to Telephone Bay in the north. After this, the captain will take us, depending on weather, probably from this exit of the South Shetland Islands, and then we head across the Drake Passage, heading back towards Patagonia, towards Argentina and China. The last time, not China, where do we say? Well, to China, because the airport is there. And to France and to the United States. Sorry about that. I'm sorry to say that the Drake Passage, again, looks relatively calm. So don't expect too much up and down, but a relatively calm, and nice passage going north. Is that good news for you? Yes. Okay, great. Just because we have this, we're going to show a short video of about 8 minutes that will help you understand Deception Island better. So let's watch that together.